When investigating intelligent design, you come across some things that blow your mind on a daily basis. And what I'm about to share is one of those things, because this week our first unit is cells, and so I'm watching videos about them to cover things that I can share with the children. And as I'm watching this video, it says that each of the 10 trillion cells in your body has 1.8 meters of DNA. Instantly, I wanted to do the math to see how much DNA we have if you were to lay all of this out. But before I did, I wanted to make sure they had their numbers right. And so when checking these numbers, I went to Google to make sure they were accurate. The video had millions of views, so I was pretty sure it was a credible source, but it's always good to go back and check. So I found out that current estimates have it around 30 trillion, about 3 times that amount. And then when you look at the length, it says it's about 6 feet, which is almost 1.8 meters. So I'm going to stay with the 1.8 meters. It makes calculations a lot easier. But to give you an idea of how tall that is, each cell has enough DNA, if you were to unwind it, lay it out in a straight line, would be as tall as a 6-foot person. So quite the lengthy amount of DNA inside of this microscopic cell. And when you take these numbers and do some math and multiply 1.8 meters times 30 trillion, you get 54 trillion meters of DNA, which converts to about 54 billion kilometers. So how far would that stretch if you laid it out on the equator? Well, the equator is 40,075 kilometers. And so if you were to stretch this out, it would go around the equator over 1 million times. That is beyond mind-blowing that our Creator could take that much genetic code and put it in to one living being. He did that at creation. There is no machine in existence that could take that much material and pack it down into something the size of a human body. If we gave the greatest experts in the world that much genetic code and said, here, organize this in a way that it fits into a human body, it could not ever be done. But our Creator did it in a way to where you start out with all the code you need to make you who you are, with every different type of cell going to the exact right spot, right where it needs to go, without question. Intelligent design is not something that should be frowned upon. However, I'm finding that in the scientific community to this day, in spite of all the growing evidence for intelligent design, it is shunned. There is a bias. And I personally believe from experience with students that I've shown these things to, that they come alive when exposed to this information. They get excited when they find out that they aren't random, that they didn't come from an amoeba. This stuff is powerful. It's life-changing. You don't see it doing harm, but they act like we need to hide it. They say things like, we need to keep religion out of this. However, saying that nothing created the amount of genetic code that you just learned about, that's a religion. That is a faith that I could never have. Not saying you're dumb if you have faith in that, but imagine nothing creating enough genetic code to wrap around the equator over 1 million times. That's something I can't even fathom, but with an extremely intelligent designer, it makes perfect sense. So don't feel bad for being a creationist, believing what you can see with your eyes and prove. I know there's a bias out there. We've got to push through it. We have to keep showing these things to people. They'll try to explain it away with change over time, but change over time is not a creator. Making it one keeps us stuck in the 1800 Darwinian frenzy mindset where we're trying to prove that, and we can't. So let's just look at what life really is. Have fun doing it. Be humble. Be kind. Know that we don't have all the answers. We still are forced to look at animations of DNA because we can't even see it. But that's how complex life is. So let's appreciate it. Let's take care of it and do our best to learn what our true purpose really is. Get along while we're here. Bring as many people to the Father as we can. Time is running out. And so I wanted to share this and hope that it reaches the right people in need of seeing that there is an intelligent designer who not only is super intelligent, but he wants time with them. That's humbling, but we saw that example when the beloved Son walked this world. He spent time with him, made it a priority. We're to be like him, and so that means the Father wants time with us as well. Otherwise, he wouldn't have given us that example to live by, an example of someone who makes time important. So set apart time and really get to know him. You'll find out you've been lied to about who he is, not just what we live on, but who he is and what his will really is. And so do that. It'll be a blessing to you. Just be careful. It can and will change your life. So be careful what you ask for. He's listening and he loves you. And that's all we have for now. Just wanted to share that because it is, like I said before, mind-blowing. And we'll see you guys real soon.
Thou hast covered me in my mother's womb. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well.